Okay, so if you didn't watch like I think 3, maybe 4 videos ago, we sold our 2017 Honda Odyssey, and now we're just down to the Audi TT and the Honda Clarity. What's up guys, hope you're having a great day today. Today we're gonna be looking for the replacement to the Odyssey because of the fact that, well, we need a big car. We just brought home an L-shaped desk and it did not fit in this car, it did not fit in this car. Ironically enough, it didn't fit in an Odyssey either. So what we had to do is we had to rent that. Yeah, so what we're doing today is returning this and then going to test drive the new car, which may be an EV, maybe not, maybe I've said too much, so let's get started. It has been a while since we've done this, but this is a cold startup on a 2018 Honda Clarity. Yeah, it doesn't make much sound. Yeah. So I don't know if you guys can see it, or well, I guess it's right here. Tire pressure is low on this thing. So I mean, I guess that's the one problem this car is having, but you know what? That's fair. That being said though, that does make it so that the Audi has less problems than the Honda. We live in a weird world, I gotta say. We live in a really weird world. And like 30 minutes later and 2 dumb drivers, we've returned the U-Haul. So let's head to... All I'm gonna say guys is this is a 2021 Ford Mustang Mach-E. These things were like 50 grand brand new, maybe 60 grand, and now this one's selling for $25,000. I guess that's my little hint. You guys have gotten your hint. That's all I'm gonna say. Look what's coming up right next to us, the M3. Wow. And that thing is popping. Now I know I hinted at the Mach-E, but I kind of lied, sorry guys. But we're here at the Tesla dealership and there is a black Cybertruck right there. And just like that, we've made it to the Tesla dealership. There is quite a few Teslas here. We have a lot of Model Ys. We have a Model X here, Model X there, Model X there, Model Ys over there, 2 Cybertrucks over there, and an Audi all the way over there. Yeah. Now, we're not here to take a look and drive the Cybertruck or the Model X. We're actually here to see this, the Tesla Model Y. So this is a demo car. It's not for sale, but I do have to say, so this is a red on black one. And I mean, it's a decent experience. I mean, it's fairly minimalistic. It is what it is. But let's get this car out on the road and let's see it.
You're familiar with the regenerative braking. Like
yeah. Oh, yeah.
If you put off the gas pedal, it slows down.
Yeah. So you just open it with this thing?
Yep. And you can open, also when you walk to your car, when you're plugging it in, it'll open automatically. Or if you go back into a supercharger, it'll open too.
Oh, I see.
And you can also open it in the back. On the front screen.
I see.
So
I see.
once you put 7 people, 7 people, this is the only storage you get.
And you have a front trunk too.
Front also, right?
Yeah. And then this over here,
Yeah,
and
you have a little
those.
side compartment area.
Component.
So wait, if the battery's not back here, it's not over there. So where would it be?
Underneath.
Or no, like the 12 volt that you like jump start.
It's underneath the car.
That one's underneath it too?
All of them are. It's like below, like in through here, all the way across the front.
I see. So if I need to jump start the car hypothetically, then
You wouldn't need to. You'll contact the Tesla service department and they'll send people out to you.
to jump start a car?
Yeah, you really don't need to jump start it.
Yeah, I mean, well, the reason I ask is because sometimes, like, you know how sometimes cars can be, you know, people just have to let them sit around.
That's for only gas motor vehicles. This you wouldn't have to. It's a battery. There's no way to jump start it.
I see.
These buttons right here that bring the seats down.
Oh, really?
Oh, are these just for the back seats or? Oh.
Okay.
I see. Okay.
They would go down, but if the seats were pushed up forward, they would.
Forward, yeah.
So you can do it up, not with this current Model Y.
Oh, okay.
The new one you can, that the launch series that just came out,
Yeah.
that one you will be able to.
311, but realistically with
It can be a little bit more when you drive on the highway. Just the estimation, just like when you fill up your gas car and you're driving on the regular highway, you know your mile range will fluctuate because you get better range on the highway versus going stop and go in the city.
I see. Does this one have like FSD or just?
All of our demo drives have FSD.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. Is this FSD 13 or 12?
It's 13.
13. Gotcha. Okay. When I was in Maryland and I drove the last Model Y, that was FSD 11. So it was a fairly outdated version compared to what 13 has.
But these one recognize the red light and all that.
Recognize red lights, people driving slower. If they want the car needs to get over to go to that speed limit, they'll use a turn signal and they'll go around and get back into that lane.
I see.
I see.
And also, if you just don't even have a destination and like you want to get over, just press the turn signal button and it'll get over for you.
I see. Okay.
So if you want to go ahead and put your foot on the brake for me, in order to put the car into drive, you use this right stalk. If you bring the lever all the way down for me, Push out. There we go. You are now in drive. As you're driving in this screen right portion right here, you'll be able to see cars, pedestrians, traffic lights, stop signs, traffic cones.
Nice.
Pretty much whatever we physically see driving, the vehicle picks up because it has 8 cameras around the whole vehicle. So if you bring the lever all the way up for me, you are now in reverse. Your cameras come on, your rear view ones, and the back one as well. Your mirrors will also tilt down to show any blind spots that might be on the ground that the cameras do not pick up. Also too, if you want to press this button right here inward, it will put you in park. When it comes to regenerative braking, instead of gliding forward like a regular motor vehicle, it's going to ease into a slow pace stop. Everyone can adapt to it. It takes a couple of days, but once you get used to it, it's like nothing.
We have a plug-in hybrid. Would you say it's harder or fairly easy to go from that to this?
Yes, 100%.
Okay. Now they have a wireless charging.
Wireless charging for your cell phones.
For the cell phone as well, right?
Maybe. I think you have to take your phone case out.
Sometimes you'll have to take it out just depending on how thick the protector is.
Your
yours
phone
is...
has some problem, man.
My phone?
See,
okay, my
mine
phone
is started to charge.
Okay, hold on. Wait a minute.
This is, I like it.
Should pick up.
Still not working.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. There it is.
Sometimes it takes a moment.
That's good. But keep in mind, it will use the charging, right?
Of the car or my phone?
No, your phone. Car charging, basically. I wish the car can run from the phone battery.
It'll take us like 5 feet.
Well, you guys have a great drive. We'll see you about 35, 40 minutes. And after that, we can talk some more.
Sure.
Perfect. All right.
Sure.
Thank you.
Drive.
So you got to use your gas pedal.
Oh.
It's one pedal driving for a reason. Here, look. The simulation has it.
Oh,
there.
simulation.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Oh, it's strong.
This is strong.
Yeah.
But once you get used to with this thing, then you will not able to drive any other car.
Let's get the power. Feel the power. Oh, okay, yeah, I felt the power. Okay, I got to admit, the EV torque, I'll never get used to that. Okay, so I think that's working.
Okay.
Yeah, just keep yourself, I guess, situated with it, make sure it's doing everything right.
Is on, right, autopilot?
Yeah, because it makes the dun-dun and then the blue thing is there. Okay, wait, so if it comes to a complete stop, then we could...
Nice.
Yeah, oh my God. Oh wait, did you just... Oh, it turns itself off, I think, after like when it falls below 5 miles an hour.
That's not good.
I know that there is a way to do it, and I had full self... Oh wait, try like... Let me try one thing. That didn't do it, huh? Okay, I don't remember how to do the FSD, because I had it on when I did my drive in Maryland with it.
If I start to do it inactive, okay, that's fine.
So like if you jerk the wheel or anything like that, it
now
just...
let me... enough FSD, let me just drive it.
I do have to acknowledge this from my Waymo vs Tesla FSD video, is that FSD has improved so much since the time that I drove FSD and when I put up that video, and even now it's improved a lot more.
I want to see how it takes the exit.
Okay, now let's see what this thing does. So it's making the turn, let's see, and then it should, okay, yeah, so that's smooth. It's smooth, does it, and the car is driving a lot less, I guess, aggressively than it was when I drove it back in November. Now, I drove a different Model Y in November than this one. They just so happen to both be red Model Ys. But I will say, I think this one, it's doing it very nicely. Like, it's driving like a normal car. It's obeying the rules of the road. I can bring up the limit just a little bit if I want to. This car, I mean, it's a fairly comfortable ride. I mean, it does everything nicely. It's a lot less sporty driving than my Audi, but that kind of makes sense. Tesla's kind of being a bit of a just, you know, a traditional car, like something like comparative to a Camry and Accord, something like that. It's kind of lost its luxury car status in comparison to something like, say, an Audi of this price point or maybe a BMW of this price point. But what it does best is technology. As much as I love the tech in my Audi, this tech is just as good in a very different way. With the Audi, it's like, it's a sport-based technology. So like all your stuff is right where the driver needs it and nobody else gets the enjoyment of it. Whilst this thing, it's a giant screen here. So it basically, what it'll do is, if your max is something like 50, if the speed limit increases to 60, it'll take it up to 60. But if you set it to anything over or under the speed limit, then in that case, it'll just go to whatever the speed limit is on the exact thing. This is interesting, terrifying, and a little sad all at the same time. It's a lot more tech, and as a tech person, I mean, I'm in computer science. I love the tech that comes with it, but as a car enthusiast, it kind of kills the soul a little bit. But for like those drives where you're just like, I do anything, I just want something chill, I need something like this. Just makes a lot of sense. It's taking this exit, and as it's going into the bend, please work. All right.
And it did not.
Okay.
It did not slower the speed also.
It kept it fairly robotic, fairly right around the speed you wanted at. And that's what I was saying in my Waymo versus FSD video. If you guys haven't seen that, by the way, link below. Tesla drives very robotically. It's very smooth, yes, but it's not human, if that makes sense. Versus the Waymo, it's human. And I stick with that claim even now.
Nice.
So I have to say, driving something like this, it's a lot less effort than something like, say, I'm going to use my BMW Z3 as an example of this because they're polar opposites of one another. That car was like a race car. I remember when I first got it, I had to take Tylenol after every drive because it was giving me that much of a headache. Versus something like this, it's like, I could quite literally do this for 10 hours nonstop. I mean, I probably can't because of the fact that, you know, the car needs to charge and all that. The car still knows how to brake and it stops itself because of the fact that it sees the red light.
Interesting. Nice. This is nice test. I like it.
This has been a very dynamic environment. We've been on the highway, we've been on city roads, and the car handles it perfectly. I have not touched a single thing since we've started driving. I barely like put my fingers on the steering wheel. My foot is not touched the brake or the gas this entire time. So I have to say, driving this has been a very interesting experience so far. For the people who it's like driving is a chore, something like this just makes a sense. Like, and I mean, I've had those days myself, especially when I had my Z3 and that car was just ridiculously loud, ridiculously uncomfortable. So having something like this, if I had like the opposite of that as well, it would make sense. In my opinion, Teslas have always served as great daily drivers, but that's about it. You can't modify a Tesla that much. You can't really have performance mods that much. You can't really track a Tesla. This car serves as a daily driver, and that's about it. And I mean, I don't think it deserves hate on that aspect. Obviously, with everything Elon's been doing, that's a whole nother story, and we're not going to get into that. But I do think that for just a car, if you just need a car that'll do everything you need it to, something like this will make more sense, in my opinion, than something like a RAV4. Because nowadays, cars are getting a lot more expensive. I've seen Toyota Corollas now go for like the 30s, like $32,000, which $32,000 can get you like probably a very good condition Model 3 or Model Y. In my opinion, I feel like the Model Y just makes more sense in that case, especially with features like this. It makes it a really good daily driver. It has the power to feel comfortable at high speeds.
It's very interesting.
This car is very interesting. Like I said, it's the perfect car for I don't feel like doing anything. It's the ultimate lazy person mobile, and I myself am a lazy person. Just want to go full send, have a nice, fun, spirited drive. This is not the car for that. I'm gonna let the car do its thing. Oh, hey, oh, hey, let's go. Oh my God. All right. And then, okay, I think it's gonna go into there. Now,
Don't
I'm not doing a thing.
Yeah, let him stop anywhere.
Now your destination is on the right.
okay. So now, I think car is done.
Yeah, but
Okay.
how do we park it?
Yeah, I need. All right. That's a handicap spot, so probably can't park there.
Yeah.
So this is my first time actually driving the Model Y, like with my own two hands
Okay.
and my own 2 feet. There's a spot next to a Model X right here, so we're gonna test out the auto park right now. There's a Tesla here and an Audi there, and then the Escalade over there. So let's see how it can handle against all three of those and the Model X that was over there. All right, let's see. Come on, what do you got? What do you got, car? I'm nervous. I'm scrunched up because of the fact that I'm worried. I rarely have seen auto park be used. Tesla doesn't really talk much about auto park. They just kind of have it on their website like, oh, hey, we do auto park as well. So seeing it in person, I'm like, I don't really know the capabilities that this thing can do. Is that it? Oh my God, it's done. All right, and then that's park. We're in park. So my drive is over. I have to admit, the FSD, it is nice. Like, it is fairly cool in this thing. So I think this video is officially over. If you liked it, leave a like. If you didn't, leave a dislike. Let me know your thoughts about this version of FSD. This is FSD 13 in the comments below. And if you like what you're seeing, leave a subscribe. And just like that, I'm out. Let me know what you guys think about the Model Y. Maybe there's one in the future. I'm not too sure. Peace.